Success is not an accident. It is a skill. It is predictable, and it can be learned. It can be learned by you, and it can be learned by anyone. The sooner you learn this skill, and the sooner you become an expert in the skills of success, the sooner you achieve the great things that you were born to accomplish. Many people think that you have to be very intelligent to be successful in life. Exhaustive research shows that many self-made millionaires have only average intelligence. The reason why this helps them is because they never become impressed with how smart they are, and they're always trying to learn more. An average person with average talents and abilities and average education can outstrip the most brilliant genius in our society if that average person has clear, focused goals. Without goals, you are doomed forever to work for people to do the average. Self-made millionaires work over 60 hours per week, and this is the one single factor that they all have in common. In our society, you work 8 hours per day for survival. Everything over 8 hours is for success. Somewhere in America, someone becomes a millionaire every 12 minutes. The clock is running. Get ready. This could be your time today. More people are becoming successful faster than at any other time in human history. Someone, somewhere in America, becomes a millionaire every 12 minutes. At least 80% of these millionaires are self-made. That is, they started with nothing but ambition and energy, the same way most of us start. Many of them never went to college. Many of them only got average grades in school. Many self-made millionaires started with no advantages at all. Today, we know more about how to achieve great success in life than ever before. Success is as predictable as the sun rising in the east and setting in the east and setting in the west. Today, success is a science. It has been broken down and subdivided, and anybody can achieve greater success, wealth, and happiness in life if they will simply do two things. First, make a decision to be successful right now. Most people never decide to be wealthy, and that's why they retire poor. The second requirement, if you want to achieve greater success, is simply this: learn from the experts. Study successful men and women and do what they do, and you'll be successful too. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Because you want to be successful, you study success. You become an expert on success. I'm always astonished that men and women think about success day and night, and yet very few of them ever read about it, ever study it, ever listen to tapes, ever take courses or seminars. They seem to excuse them by feeling that these are the sort of things that they're going to learn by osmosis at age 25. I started and built a 100-person sales force covering 6 countries, doing $1 million per month in business by simply practicing some principles I had learned at that time from books and picked up from other people. However, as time went on, I lost those principles. I forgot the principles, and I reached my state at the age of 30 where I had no skill. I had no training. I was deeply in debt, and I was going nowhere. That's the point at which I made a decision. I made the decision I was going to be successful, and I was going to do whatever was necessary to achieve it. I was going to pay whatever price was necessary to accomplish my goals. This was my turning point. I sat down and I thought through everything I had learned in my 30 years. I had read many books on success, and I listened to many tapes, and I attended many courses, and I developed a simple system based on the best success principles I had found. Then I put it to work. By 1985, 5 years later, my simple success system had brought my income up to over $1.5 million. I increased my income by 100 times in 10 years. And what I discovered over the years of study and practice was simply this: you design a success system and follow it, you will be far more successful than if you don't. A system based on sound principles is better than no system at all. Recently, they've been dividing new business startups into 2 categories. The first category is businesses started by people with 5 years or more of business experience. And the second category is businesses started by people with no business experience at all. The statistics turn out to be very different for these groups. Businesses started by people with experience in business have a 90 or better success rate, whereas businesses started by people with no experience have a 99 failure rate. If you don't have any experience, have a 99 failure rate. If you don't have any experience, successful, business is too complicated. The reasons are obvious why people with experience succeed and people without experience fail. It's the same in life. People with success knowledge and experience succeed, and people without it fail. We know that the more successful you are, the more success experiences you have, the more likely it is that you will be successful in other things. We know that the fewer success experiences and the less success experiences and the less success knowledge you have, the less likely it is that you'll be successful. Do you know the success rate for an established franchise, one that's been in business for at least 5 years? Well, according to the experts, it's 70 to 90 success rate. McDonald's, for instance, has over 8,600 outlets, and they haven't had a failure in 25 years. Now, why should this be? Well, the reason is a franchise is a proven success system. It is a system based on years of trial and error. All you have to do with the franchise is to do what you're told, follow the system, and your success is almost guaranteed. McDonald's executive told me once that every single farmer that has ever bought a McDonald's franchise has been extremely successful. Whereas very often MBs and people from the universities and people with previous business experiences will buy franchises and they'll try to change the system instead of following the success principles. They'll try to change the system and they're running into nothing but problems. One of the great keys to success is to use proven success methods. Learn from the experts. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Life is too short for that. Surprisingly enough, most people either never study success, or if they do, they ignore what they've learned and try to do it all on their own. Let's look at some of the general principles of success we've discovered over the years. Number one principle, most important of all, is that success begins inside you. It starts from the inside out. It is a state of mind. It is a function of your character and your personality. Remember, it is not what you do so much as who you are that counts. Number two, the psychology of success simply equals mental fitness, which is a feeling of self-confidence, happiness, enthusiasm, and a positive mental attitude. Because if you have feelings of unshakable self-confidence, happiness, enthusiasm, and a positive mental attitude, nothing in the world can stop you from being successful. Number three, your level of self-esteem, how much you like yourself, how much you respect yourself and accept yourself as a valuable and worthwhile person, is the foundation quality of all success, all high achievement, and all peak performance. The more you like yourself, the better you do everything you turn your hand to. Point number four, the purposeful development of self-esteem is the psychology of success. Everything you do that makes you feel more positive towards yourself and your life builds yourself, and your life builds your self-esteem and improves your level of mental fitness. In other words, when you use proven success methods every single time you do, and you get a positive result, you get a jolt of self-esteem and self-confidence that makes you feel great about yourself and enthuses you to go on to the next effort. Number five, true self-esteem arises from an enhanced feeling of competence. Everything you do that gives you a greater sense of mastery and achievement boosts your self-esteem. Number six, your self-esteem is largely determined by how much you believe in yourself. Your beliefs, more than anything else, determine your reality. You always think and act in a manner consistent with your innermost convictions. If you change your beliefs, you change your life. Many people think that you have to be very intelligent to be successful in life. Exhaustive research shows that many self-made millionaires have only average intelligence. The reason why this helps them is because they never become impressed with how smart they are, and they're always trying to learn more. They're always curious and open and asking questions. And it's this that gets them the information that guarantees their success.
Many people think you have to go to college in order to be successful. There's an enormous number of self-made millionaires and successful people in every field who never went to college.
As a matter of fact, half the college graduates in America are working for people who didn't finish high school, in my estimation. Number seven, your level of self-esteem is determined by how much you believe yourself to be valuable, competent, worthwhile, respected, and important. Worthwhile, respected, and important. Everything you do, every experience you have that causes you to feel more valuable raises your self-esteem. Every experience that causes you to feel less important or less valuable lowers your self-esteem, undermines your self-esteem, undermines your self-concept, and impairs your effectiveness. Number eight, the opposites of self-esteem are fear, stress, psychosomatic illness, personality problems, negativity, cynicism, mediocrity, defeat, and failure in life. In fact, I feel that almost all human problems stem from low self-esteem, stem from the fact that people don't like themselves very much. Fears of failure, fears of poverty and rejection, fears of criticism, and fears of loss that hold us back are all rooted in low self-esteem. Number 9, it is possible to change your feelings, your attitudes, your opinions, your ideas, and beliefs about yourself by feeding your mind with a steady stream of positive, constructive messages that are consistent with the outcomes you desire rather than the outcomes you fear. You do become what you think about. So it's very important that you continually feed your mind with thoughts, words, pictures, ideas, and images that are consistent with the person you want to be, with qualities and attributes you want to be, with qualities and attributes you want to have, with the lifestyle that you desire. Number 10, you should use positive affirmations, which is called positive self-talk. You repeat it over and over to yourself with enthusiasm and conviction. In other words, emotionalize the things that you say to yourself. Say things to yourself like, I like myself, I like myself, I like myself, I like myself. Whenever you say that, your self-esteem goes up. Whenever you say that, you feel better about yourself and you perform better. Number 11, visualization. Practice visualizing yourself with the qualities, attributes, and behaviors you desire. Create clear mental pictures of your desired results over and over. The last thing you do before you go to sleep at night is visualize yourself performing excellently. Visualize yourself enjoying having achieved your goals. Visualize yourself as the person you would like to be. Remember, your subconscious mind is activated by mental pictures, and it then makes all your words and actions fit a pattern consistent with your most intensely desired goals. It controls your body language. It controls your body language. It controls your tone of voice. It controls your levels of energy. So the more you think and talk and visualize what it is you want to accomplish, the more likely it is you will say and do exactly the right things to cause it to happen. Number 12, when you use affirmations and visualization in combination with an attitude of positive expectations, you do two things. First of all, you become a positive, optimistic, cheerful person with a kind of attitude that is essential to success. You can't imagine a really successful person who is not positive, optimistic, and cheerful. And number 2, you begin attracting into your life people and circumstances in harmony with your dominant thoughts. This is called the law of attraction. What it says is that whatever thoughts dominate your thinking, you are going to attract people and circumstances into your life that harmonize with them. Now, this law of attraction works whether your dominant thoughts are positive or negative. So be careful. If you keep your thoughts positive, you'll attract positive circumstances. And if your thoughts are negative, you'll attract negative circumstances. Number 13, feed your mind continually with positive books, magazines, tapes, videos, and seminars. Avoid negative people, negative books, negative newspapers, negative magazines, negative stories. Feed your mind with positive information which helps you, which is consistent with where you want to go and what you want to be. You see, you are very susceptible to what is called the power of suggestion, and you are influenced by every suggestive element in your environment. You are prompted by what people say and the books you read, the newspaper headlines, and the news on television. If you do not consciously keep your suggestive environment positive, it will tend in our society to be predominantly negative. Number 14, associate with positive, cheerful, optimistic, success-oriented people. Remember, birds of a feather do flock together, and the choice of negative people to associate with can condemn you to a lifetime of failure and underachievement. Dr. David McClellan at Harvard University found in 25 years of research that the choice of a negative reference group, the people that you associate with and identify with, can sink you in spite of all the education and opportunities and advantages that are given to you. Remember, you can't fly with the eagles if you scratch with the turkeys. Get around winners. Get around positive people. Get away from negative people. Get out of negative corporate environments. Get out of negative relationships. Don't associate with losers. It doesn't matter how long you've known them. If you associate with losers, you will be a loser. And if you associate with winners, you will be a winner. And by the way, sometimes people say, well, if I disassociate myself from my friends. Number 15, act the part. Pattern your conduct, behavior, and actions after successful people if you want to be successful people, if you want to be successful. Remember, success starts from within, not from without. If you have low self-esteem or a poor self-image, or if you lack self-confidence, as I did, as everybody does initially, it's very difficult to change merely by thinking about it. It means that you can act your way into feeling high levels of self-esteem by doing the same things that people with high self-esteem do. Mental fitness is like physical fitness. It can be learned through repetition and practice. Remember, mental fitness is positive self-esteem, high levels of self-confidence, and courage, and you can learn it by practicing. This was the secret that turned my life around, and I've since learned that it's the key reason for the success of thousands of ordinary men and women. Well, what have we learned? Number one, top of the list, most important, success is not an accident. It is a skill. It is predictable, and it can be learned. It can be learned by you, and it can be learned by anyone. The sooner you learn this skill, and the sooner you become an expert in the skills of success, the sooner you achieve the great things that you were born to accomplish. Number two, if you want to be successful, you must use proven success methods. You must learn from other successful people. You must study success. You must interview successful people. You must find out everything you can about success from every source possible. You must become an authority on it. Number three, the great majority of people fail in life. That is, they do not fulfill their potentials and achieve the health, wealth, and happiness of which they're capable. They sell themselves short. They settle for far less. Number four, your level of self-esteem, how much you like yourself, how much you respect yourself and accept yourself, and regard yourself, how much you esteem yourself is the most important single determinant of your success. When you are successful, you feel tremendous about yourself. And when you are not, you don't. And everything that happens that builds your self-esteem is going to move you more rapidly toward achieving your goals in life. Number five, remember, everyone suffers fears of failure and fears of rejection, self-doubt, lack of confidence, feelings of inferiority, inadequacy, and guilt. Guilt is the great problem of the 20th century. Feelings of inferiority come from childhood. Fears of failure and rejection go back to destructive criticism in our early formative years. Remember this, that successful people are not people who don't suffer those emotions. They're simply people who have learned how to master those emotions through practice, and so can you. Number six, you become what you think about. The stream of thoughts, words, and pictures that flow through your mind determine your personality, your attitude, your behavior, and your results in life. And finally, number seven is this. The great discovery of behavioral psychology is that if you engage in the same actions as positive, focused, self-confident, successful people, you will come to think, feel, and act like them naturally. That even if you don't feel like it, if you pretend, if you fake it until you make it, if you act the part, you will begin to think, walk, talk, act, and feel like a successful person as naturally as breathing in and breathing out.